member of party. Morning, madam. Lay down attention. They are ready for your inspection. Report. Read command. Senior inspector. Came in. Up.
And local. Thank you. My scripture today I read from Ephesians 3 verse 20 and I'll go back to 17. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. Our God is an able God. He can do exceedingly and abundantly. But as the scripture says, when we ask and imagine, we ask for our town to be a safe place. We imagined our town to be a safe place, and God answered our prayers through the Republic of Spain. And with this, I would ask that all of us here, the fault that we do is that we don't ask from God, that we don't imagine beyond our wildest dreams. Our country at points have become stagnant in many things, as we have left God out in many of our things that we want. So God is telling us here that we need to ask and imagine and be innovative in our thinking from this point. We need to be innovative in ways that pleases the Lord, not only in other measures, but in our daily aspects of our lives. God created us as a race to imagine more than what we are now. That's why throughout generations we see that many things have happened. Many innovations have taken place. And it is our time now to imagine and ask for the current that we have and more than we can ask for. For it is God alone that can create us, or who created us, that allowed us to imagine then what we are having now. So with this, I would like us to stand for our prayer.
Honorable mayors and chairpersons of different local authorities, honorable councillors, Deputy Commissioner Clay, the acting regional commander and senior commanding officers of the Namibian Police Force in the Hardab region present, Ms. Yvonne Stefanus, Regional Director in the Ministry of Health and Safety, Ms. Helena Shilongo, Senior Manager Claims of the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund in Namibia, industry captains, members of media, the community of Mariental, all those joining us live on different social media platforms, especially our beautiful brothers and sisters watching us from Spain, Murcia. Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed privileged looking at the purpose of our gathering here today. How does this all become a reality? And the invited number of guests that make time out of their equally busy schedules to celebrate this very important day with us. A day meant for our residents, our guests, our visitors and tourists, a day meant for the people of Namibia. Thank you for accepting our invitations and welcome to the beautiful town of Mariental. I am extremely privileged and humbled to welcome you to this important occasion. Please feel welcome. We invite you to share and witness us with the handing over of this much needed and immensely valued firefighting vehicles and an ambulance. Ms. Rosalia Martin Sesuku, Chief Executive Officer of the MBA Fund, in your absence, although I am not charged with the responsibility to deliver the vote of thanks, I would fail as the head of the municipality of Mariental to convey on behalf of the residents, my fellow councillors and management, our profound appreciation for your generous donation. The Mariental municipality is proud of our association with your community inclined institution. Subject to the Public Health Act 1919, Act number 36 of 1919, we are immensely proud to introduce today our intent to start delivering the first ever municipal ambulance services for the town of Mariental. This collaboration between our institution will support the fund and the Ministry of Health during medical emergency and motor vehicle accidents, reinforcing the shared goal of the emergency response center that was launched in 2023, which is to improve emergency response in our region. Since the start of our collaboration, the MBA Fund committed itself to sponsor 2 students every 3 years to pursue the bachelor's degree of emergency medical care at the University of Science and Technology. Today we will be handing over 3 bursaries, bringing the total number of recipients to 4. The fund availed the 2 emergency care practitioners, 1 at advanced and 1 intermediate level, already stationed and operating from Mariental. In collaboration with the Office of the Governor, we are happy to announce that we will commence with the traffic stimulation park in the upcoming financial year. Council has already allocated a 1,200 square meter plot for this purpose, with the paving the area that has already been delivered. Your Excellency Ambassador Dela Kelly, among all EU countries, Namibian authorities look to Spain with special affection. Allow me to elaborate. Council approved for its fire officer to attend a basic course for responding to incidents involving chemical warfare agents and toxic industrial chemicals for state parties in the African region. The course was presented in Murcia, Spain from the 7th to 11th November in 2022. The course was sponsored by the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Warfare, OPCW, through the attendance discussions for cooperation with the Murcia Fire and Rescue Services. The Murcia Development Corporation was created. On 18 November 2022, the Mariental Municipal Council, through my office, wrote a letter to the Mayor of Murcia, starting negotiations and discussions on how our organizations could collaborate on behalf of the communities of the town of Mariental to improve the resources of its fire brigade services. On 13 June 2023, the Mariental Municipal Council presented a report to the Murcia City Council C Service, requesting donation of rolling stock that could be in working condition that was planned to be removed from the inventory of the Murcia City Council. The institution highlighted their resources needs the fire services and how it affects the communities of Mariental, such as budgetary limitations, shortage of human resources and equipment, which makes them vulnerable to the possible disasters caused by fire. On September 14, 2023, the Heritage Service of Spain received a report from CIS and the Development Cooperation and Budget Services, recommending the donation of 2 municipal fire engine vehicles, which are no longer part of the fleet of operational vehicles, to the Fire Department of the Municipality of Mariental. Together with the Chief Fire Officer, we traveled to Murcia, Spain on the 14th of November 2024. The donation was officially handed over on the 15th of November 2024, with the vehicles transported to Walvis Bay earlier this year. The donation of these vehicles is a significant contribution towards improving the lives of our people in Mariental and the region at large. All in all, these vehicles will help to make Mariental a safer and better place to live in. This project brings us a step closer to our aim of improving the quality of life of our people in Mariental and the region at large. The service of these vehicles is always required in many emergency situations where there are either accidents on our roads or emergency health cases in our homes. Program Director, in conclusion, I want to take this opportunity to once more welcome you to this official commissioning of donated fire vehicles and an ambulance. I thank you.
Bernardus Swartboy, Honorable Ambassador, please allow me to follow the excellent protocol as it was established this morning. We have received 2 rapid response vehicles for the town of Mariental. In terms of analysis, not just for the town of Mariental, but for the whole of Namibia, our highest incidence of fires is those ones that occur in the informal settlements. The reason for that is because of the combustible material that our people use. It's highly combustible, from wood to cardboard boxes. And if we say informal, meaning there is no services, no roads, no electricity, no water. So most of the challenges, not just of the high flammability of the construction materials that are used, we have challenges in our response with narrow streets where our vehicles cannot fit through the streets, low-lying electrical cables. So these 2 rapid response vehicles comes at an excellent time where we can now deploy them specifically for our informal areas. Rapid response meaning that they are capable of responding faster because they carry less water. They are able to maneuver through narrow streets, low-lying. So we will be able to reach those shack fires within the required time. 5 minutes is too long for a shack to burn, it burns down. So in terms of our strategy, we need to reduce our response time, and that is why it's important for our firefighters to man the fire station 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Firefighters needs to be ready. If the emergency call comes in, they will respond from the station, and we will reduce our response time. Therefore, we will increase our efforts of saving lives and property. The features on the rapid response vehicles, we have firefighting foam as well, capabilities of carrying water and firefighting foam. Firefighting foam we use primarily for petroleum fires. So water is unable to extinguish your petrol and diesel fires, and we got 2 trucks that have the capabilities of carrying those substances so that we are able to extinguish petroleum fires as well. We have floodlights, telescopic. This allows us to illuminate any emergency scene during the night, in the morning hours also. Through our statistics, we know that most of the emergency occurs at night. We have challenges of illumination. We are able to illuminate. Power generators has been provided, personal protective equipment has been provided, fully functional pumps has been provided. These vehicles are ready to serve the residents of Mariental and the citizens of Namibia at large. In terms of the ambulance, we will, because of our emergency response center with the MBA fund, register it at the advanced life support level, bachelor degree. The bursaries that was handed out today, these young people we expect to come back within 3 years and to plow back into our community. So we have different levels of paramedics, basic, intermediate, and advanced. So we will register it at advanced level so that we are able to provide the most advanced care when it's needed. Thank you very much.
Madam Deputy Minister of Urban and Rural Development, Honorable Evelyn Nawasistayele, Your Worship, the Mayor of Mariental Municipality, Honorable Cherian Koch, Honorable Bernardo Swartboy, Member of Parliament and Leader of LPM, representatives of the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund, members of the Fire and Emergency Safety of the City of Mariental, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride and a profound sense of honor that I have accepted the kind invitation to join the authorities and citizens of Mariental in this ceremony of commissioning of 2 firefighting vehicles generously donated by the Fire and Rescue Service of the City Council of Murcia in Spain to the municipality of Mariental in Namibia. After a long journey initiated in December last year in Cartagena, Spain, the vehicles have finally reached the destination and are now here in their new home, each of them with a capacity of 1,500 liters, as explained by Mr. Coetzee. They will be used by the Mariental Fire Services for the same noble endeavor that they were used in Murcia, that is, to assist the community in combating disasters caused by fire. Climate change and its effect have exponentially increased the risk of such events happening in our communities. Both Namibia and Spain, despite the big distance that separates us, suffer in a similar manner the terrible effects of climate change-induced drought. This was acknowledged when, in November 2022, officials from both Mariental and Murcia Fire and Rescue Services came together on the occasion of an international gathering in Murcia. As already explained by her worship, the exchanges that took place there led to the initiative of this generous donation, in which the Murcia Development Corporation participated. Aware that under the current weather circumstances, the municipality of Mariental is particularly vulnerable to potential disasters and fire outbreaks, we are confident that these vehicles, with their advanced capabilities, will significantly bolster Mariental's firefighting resources, reinforcing the security and protection of the community. And we trust the able capabilities of Mr. Coetzee and the rest of the team in doing so. Spain is well known in Namibia for having been, since the very moment of independence, a staunch and loyal development partner. For 25 years, Namibia was a priority destination of Spanish Socioeconomic Development Corporation in Africa, with actions worth more than 100 million euros. The Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, represented here by Honorable Deputy Minister Nawaz Estayele, was one of our direct counterparts in this common effort towards prosperity and development of the citizens of the land of the brave. As a result of partnership like ours, and more important, of the politics and decisive actions by the government of Namibia, the status of upper middle income country was proudly achieved. But this achievement is not the end point, since many needs are still to be fulfilled. Spain, as a development partner that we continue to be, still joins in this effort, with new mechanisms appropriated to the new situation. For example, by bringing to Namibia investment that create jobs, as well as Namibian added value and know-how. A good example of this is the 35 megawatts Mariental solar power station, in the development of which the Spanish participated company Alten Renewable Energy played a pivotal role. Also initiatives like the one that brings us here, which are the result of the ascertainment of the existence of common challenges and priorities, and of the dialogue and exchange of experiences with regard to them. The long tradition of Spain in international cooperation includes, beyond the national level, actions by regional and local instances, as the one that brings us here today, as the one that the Council of Municipality has played. Thanks to these initiatives, people from both our countries continue to connect around our shared concerns and sensitivities. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to finish by commending the laudable effort of the Namibian professionals in the field of disaster management. The dedication and hard work are truly inspiring. As climate change continues exacerbating the frequency and intensity of wildfires and other drought-related events, their role become even more crucial. Together, we can make a difference. Let us continue to support and uplift each other, fostering a world where resources and assistance are shared generously. I thank you.
Deputy Minister Evelyn Nawasestaele, Minister of Urban and Rural Development, His Excellency Alberto de la Calle, Ambassador of Spain, Her Worship the Mayor Shelin Koch, Mayor of Mariental. Allow me to stand in the established protocol. My name is Helena Shilongo. I'm standing in for our CEO, Madam Rosalia Martins Hausiku, who cannot be here with us today due to other commitments. During 2020, the MVA Fund, in collaboration with various stakeholders, made a decision to open an emergency medical response services base in Mariental. The purpose of the base was to supplement the EMS in the town and in the region at large. This was additional to the bases already operating in Arandes, Omthia, Ochivarongo, Watavi, Divundu, as well as Ochivarongo. All bases are staffed with emergency care practitioners of various levels, from basic life support to the advanced life support. The aim of the bases is to enhance service delivery, to deliver our services on time, and give quality emergency care to the person injured in the motor vehicle crashes. Equally, the Mariental base is actually staffed with an advanced life support paramedics and intermediate life support practitioner. The fund previously operated a base in Rehoboth. However, a strategic decision was taken by the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund to move it further to the south. So Mariental was the center where we have decided that we are going to put the base in order to cover the region, given that Rehoboth is closer to Windhoek, and now we have also other private emergency services in the town. Since inception, Mariental base has responded to a significant number of calls, inclusive of crashes, inter-hospital transfers, since its inception. During the 2023-2024 financial year, the base attended to 42 calls. That includes 14 state hospital assistance calls as part of our social responsibility, and the calls that we have attended to are estimated to stand at the cost of 347,611.17 cents. The data collected by the MVA Fund show that a total number of 440 crashes between the year 2020 and 2023 happened in Hardap region. The injury recorded from these crashes were 719. Also, year to year, there is an increase with 112 fatalities over that period. 87 out of 860 who were patients were transported from the scene to hospital by non-ambulance vehicles, and majority of deaths were recorded on these crashes. Hence, we say no to this. We want our people to be attended to by the professionals. Over the past 4 years, the MVA Fund has recorded 87 crashes within and around Mariental, which resulted in 177 injuries and 24 fatalities. This is only within the town of Mariental, excluding the rest of the region. During this period, 15 of the 24 fatality occurs on the scene and 7 at the hospital. With this in mind, and linking the above to research, it is widely known that most of the trauma deaths can reduce or avoided with effective early emergency medical care. With the provision of the ambulance, we hope that it will enhance the delivery of timely emergency care and it will help alleviate the mortality and morbidity of motor vehicle crashes within the town and our greater region. The above will contribute to the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals, which is 3.6, which aim to reduce the global death and injury from motor vehicle crashes. Ladies and gentlemen, the MVA Fund is committed to enhance the delivery of emergency care in the country, particularly through smart partnership. And such, the fund has trained the held-up region. We trained 95 police officers in phase 8 in the last 5 years. We provided resuscitation training to healthcare providers in the regions as well. And we are committed to provide bursaries to 2 students per intake for 3 consecutive years who want to pursue Bachelor of Emergency Medical Care at the University of Science and Technology. The donation of the ambulance further strengthens this commitment, and through this we wish to bridge the gap between the crash occurrence and delivery of emergency care. Provision of care en route to hospital are supposed to the mode of transport, however not limited to motor vehicle crashes, and people of Mariental can too benefit and have access to emergency care. This is made possible through such partnership. The donated vehicle is fully converted ambulance. It will work alongside our team in Mariental, and this will complement also the resources that this town needs. As the saying goes, ladies and gentlemen, to whom such is given, much is expected. It is our expectation that this ambulance will be used for its intended purposes and truly benefit the people of Mariental and indeed entire held-up region. It is only when we come together as stakeholders in this manner that we can address the need of our communities. The MVA Fund is committed to serve the communities we serve and further doing its part to assist our community in emergency care response. I thank you.
I want to in particular also recognize my sister Evelyn Tayele Ngavases from a very small village called Leonardville. Its other name is also Pitors. There are no proper roads. It's a very small place, but it shows the strength of people that come from such areas to give their whole life toward public service. As a result of her good work, she has become a deputy minister serving Namibia at large. I recognize her, I congratulate her. She is a humble soul, a hard worker. Of course, I also recognize the mayor, who as a young mayor started at this town some 4 or 5 years ago and has completely been transformed as a leader, as a woman, as a servant, and we are only proud of what our young people can do once they are given an opportunity. Ambassador of Spain, the Kingdom of Spain, told me his name means street. I asked him whether it's a big street or a small street, but he said it's a street, de calle, de la calle. Thank you, Your Excellency, for the work that Spain does to keep us close to your bosom, to make sure that you make a decent contribution that transforms lives of people, and that you are always humble servants across the continent. We appreciate the work and input of the people of Spain and the government of Spain. We are sure that this is but one of those initiatives that will lead to other greater initiatives going forward. And so I recognize all protocol, everybody that is here, and I just want to congratulate the town of Mariental under the administrative leadership of Paul and under the political leadership of Honorable Kok for the constant work they do in small bits and pieces to keep society moving forward. Kari betinda ni kuna mu kaka khabe hora kase kai tan thora kwenje chiki ngai kari kuna onda ti o ekara hora kase hawa siti kai banwa I want to recognize all the local authorities that have come. I see the chairperson of Stampred Village Council. I see others from Gibeon, and I think the chairperson of the Mariental local authority is also here. I recognize you all. I think Malte is also here. The director of health, Yvonne Stephanus, I recognize her also. I think when you look back at how we are structuring service delivery in the country as a nation, we have to reflect. Paul and others would know better, but when one looks at the manner in which local communities have to carry the central government through taxes, they then have to carry the local authority through rates and taxes, then they have to carry the regional council with a 5% that has to be given by every local authority to the regional council. I think the burden becomes heavy on local communities, really, because you maintain all the tiers of the state, regardless of the levels of employment, regardless of the levels of income, and it's just becoming too difficult for people to carry that burden. You would therefore see that consistently local authorities suffer with two big service delivery issues. Payment of water and electricity, that is the two big ones, and then the generic provision of services to build a better life, to build a society that is safe, build a community that can sustain itself, build opportunities for children. It becomes difficult for communities to carry the burden of all the tiers of government. Chiske khadi municipality sa khona husta ho marina ho chalisi kai tuis nasa 5% rabada chige kha khone na agam sing wan hanu amse balastan de khabara batao hawa si guje hoan na nongun hanu tiga auchi auhia onda tani gai ora tani gai. And it's not just an issue here, it's all over the world that is the structure, generally. But I think, Honorable Deputy Minister, it's time that we relook at how central government finances local authorities. If a town like Mariental can get on an annual basis an additional 80 to 100 million from central government, lives will be completely transformed here. You can continue to build houses, you can pave roads, you can put in more tarred roads, you can create job opportunities from the lower levels to middle income groups of our people. You can create a much more vibrant economy because you will, as a local authority, be able to make the right kind of investment decisions in the local economy, not to wait for somebody from outside and so on. So the burden must begin to be shared much more greatly by central government. The 1 or 2 or 6 or 9 or 10 million Namibian dollars do not make it to transform the local livelihoods. Kaisiske marisan oro abuting hanu tanang hanu tamasa. Sige kaise uiba ota au o ra au anga digna. When you travel around, whether it's here in Mariental or in Oshakati or whether you travel to other places, Hobabas and so on, you will find, Honorable Deputy Minister, and it's something you know very well, grade 12 graduates, university degree holders that are at tombo houses because there is no opportunity in the localities where they live. And I think when you look at developed countries, countries like Spain, countries like the United States, the investment in local authorities has driven the transformation of society. And I think we need to relook, Honorable Deputy Minister, at some strategic level, how we can change the conceptual framework within which, and the legal framework within which funding for local authorities and regional governments are done. because the same poor communities are carrying every other system of government. And it's really a matter of concern that with every delimitation commission, people want to create additional regions or additional constituencies, even when such constituencies and regions are not necessary. What you have done here, Ambassador of Spain, together with the assistance from the central government, Honorable Mayor, Honorable Deputy Minister, the construction of this fire brigade of officers, and then subsequently the fire brigade trucks, the assistance with MVA, it's something phenomenal. We are so much into self-criticism to the point that we don't even celebrate the significant successes that we are able to make. So I want to congratulate the people in the government of Spain, Your Excellency, and thank you. Also the leadership of the mayor. But it's something very unique, and it's something that I know will help the entire region. 2-3 years ago, we had massive fires in this part of the country. In the area of Riabo, then in the southern part, in Karasburg, there was a difficulty. Often we would rely on the NDF to help the fight against spreading of fire. Now we have capacity. And the leader in this instance is the local authority of Mariental. So thank you very much, Paul, for your continued leadership. The older you get, the more sharper you become. So we commend you with this type of work. I've also been tasked by virtue of historic affinity to introduce my sister Evelyn Tayele, who became Ngavases through marriage. Here you find a woman who is a farmer, who knows what it means to be disciplined by drought on the farm, who has distinguished herself as one that continues the legacy of her father's service to the people of this country. And so if you go to the Omaheke region, people will talk about the wonders that that family has done. Evelyn joined politics at a very young age, when the empowerment of women was just but a concept, and began to grow in the ranks of the political party she represents from the youth, and was taken as one of those hardworking, young and committed leaders, not fearing, strong, consistent, able to speak her mind, humble but firm in addressing issues that concern her. She became a member of parliament, and is one of those members of parliament that has consistently been returned to the National Assembly, because what Evelyn does behind the scenes is to build networks of unity. She is known as a unifying person. She is known as someone, when situations become tough, that will come in with a soft voice, accommodating everyone, trying to build bridges. No wonder she is part of a ministry that helps to bring about fire trucks, because she is in her own right a fire extinguisher. Over time, she has become a much more sophisticated political leader, and President Kengo took her in and made her deputy minister of one of the most challenging ministries in any country, urban and rural development. At some point, she contested for a major political position and almost made it. But when she did not make it, Evelyn did not cry tears. She picked up the pieces and walked the journey of service for her people. When you look at Evelyn, you look at a person that challenged so many odds, challenged so many confrontations, and succeeded to become the leader that she is. A mother, a farmer, a revolutionary, but a unifying figure who tries to understand more than she should be understood. That's the person I'm introducing to you. Please, Honorable Deputy Minister, You have the floor. Please give her applause. It is the first deputy minister that is introduced by a party leader. But congratulations.
Nothing just happens. Now, today I was told that my brother leader, Clinton Swabber, will be here. When I was looking around, I realized the governor is not around. But I said, well, why should we scratch the head around and look for someone? I insisted, only him. It's very few people that can talk about me. Only him. There is none, no one equal to a Clinton that will know where Evelyn is coming from. So thank you for that eloquent, well-crafted. Of course, he did not come prepared, but you see, when you know someone, you know someone. And it's the truth, nothing but the truth that he has just told you. There were times that I thought, is he talking about me or is it someone else? But coming from him, I am humbled, my brother. Thank you so much for that well-eloquent introduction you have made. Director of Ceremonies, Ambassador of Spain in Namibia, His Excellency Alberto de la Gaille. I'm told by my brother leader, don't say Gale. It's not Damara. Pronounce it correctly. So I have learned from the best. Yes, the governor in his absentia. Of course, we have got other colleagues represented here. For me not to make mistakes, I will stand by the protocol established by the Director of Ceremonies. I'm indeed extremely privileged and humbled to address this important ceremony, and are thankful to you all who are present here to witness this very historic but auspicious occasion. From the onset, I take this opportunity to express gratitude on behalf of the government of Namibia and indeed every citizen of our country, in particular the Hardap region. Our sincerest appreciation is extended to the municipality of Murcia in the Republic of Spain and the MVA Fund of Namibia for this generous donation. I'm delighted to represent the government of Namibia here today in handing over and commissioning of the 2 firefighting trucks and an ambulance to the Mariental Fire and Emergency Services. Today, the world battles with geopolitical instability in some parts, causing supply chain disruptions and deepening inequalities and economic hardships in other parts of the world, leading to rising interest rates, along with inflation, soaring prices, and debt levels, which crush our vulnerable communities. We witness the rapidly unfolding cost of living crisis, which affect destitute members of society, including women and girls the most. In Namibia, we are not immune, being exposed to a spectrum of disasters, including droughts, which leads to the loss of livestock and agricultural products in large quantities. The persisting drought also contributes to rural-urban migration. As if that is not enough, we are also prone to floods, wildfires, pest outbreak, and windstorms, to name but a few. The global theme for disaster risk reduction is fighting inequality for a resilient future, quote unquote. It is aimed at creating a global culture of disaster reduction, including disaster resilience, prevention, mitigation, preparedness, recovery and rehabilitation. This is very important as one does not know when disaster will strike and in what form. Hence, Namibia continues to work shoulder to shoulder with regional neighbors and global friends to break the cycle of poverty and disaster by honoring the various international agreements geared at achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The Hyogo framework for action in 2005 allowed Namibia to develop and align its disaster risk management policy of 2009 and the subsequent legal and regulatory frameworks of 2012 and 2013, as well as the national strategy for mainstreaming disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation into development planning of 2017. It is very important that we must adapt mechanisms and develop strategies in dealing with disasters in a coherent manner. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, there is a call for more dedicated action that needs to be focused on tackling underlying disaster risk drivers, such as the consequences of poverty and inequality. Disaster risk reduction requires an all of society engagement and partnership. It also requires empowerment and inclusive, accessible and non-discriminatory participation, paying special attention to people disproportionately affected by this type of disasters, the poor of the poorest. Gender, age, disability, and cultural perspectives should be integrated in all policies and practices, and women and youth leadership should also be promoted. They should not feel left out. Disaster preparedness and resilience building are important for disaster risk management, and reduction as such remain an important priority for the government. I am confident that despite the inevitability of disasters, their impact can be significantly reduced through proactive preparedness and ultimately preventing adverse situations from evolving into full-blown emergencies and disasters. This partnership between the two municipal councils allows for more sharing of experiences on effective actions needed to be taken to reduce mortality, damage to infrastructure and the environment due to this type of disasters. This requires, and I therefore urge individuals, communities, the private sectors, civil society, all citizens and government to work together to ensure a meaningful contribution to resilience building to disasters. On a national level, you may be aware that Namibia developed and adopted the national strategy for mainstreaming disaster risk reduction. For government, the importance of planning for risk reduction through development of disaster risk reduction strategies cannot be underestimated. Therefore, government through the Office of the Prime Minister continue to expand on existing disaster reduction and resilience strategies for technical support from the United Nations. It is clear that all the stakeholders are required to pursue a proactive and integrated approach. The development of these strategies, therefore, make use of multi-sectoral and multidisciplinary inputs for effectiveness. Disaster risk reduction and resilience strategies help us consider our emergency response activities. Contemplating existing and new disaster risk, this enables us to design and adjust our activities so that people and communities become safer and more disaster resilient. Most importantly, it speaks to the efforts aimed at avoiding and mitigating disaster impacts. as well as those targeted at building back better after such a disaster. These strategies also provide valuable insight into the underlying factors of vulnerability to hazards and their features. It helps us identify and map local capacities to cope with these hazards. Ultimately, the disaster risk reduction approach helps us to conduct effective disaster responses while reducing risk should disaster occur. To our friends, both local and internationally, as well as the private sectors, communities and institutions that support us, we thank them all. We will not succeed to strengthen the resilience of our communities against disaster without planning and implementing risk reduction activities in cohesion. Disaster risk reduction requires collective efforts, and everybody has a role to play to make our communities safer against these disasters. Community preparedness is very important when a disaster occurs. Director of Ceremonies, ladies and gentlemen, the government, through the Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, being the sector ministry responsible for local authorities in the country, has over the years contributed to upliftment of emergency and disaster risk management through infrastructural development, provision of firefighting equipment, and capacity building of the personnel. This support aims to achieve the upgrading of our firefighting services through the construction of fire stations, subsidization of firefighting trucks, equipment and training for the local authorities. Therefore, this timely donation is a significant contribution towards improving the capacity of the Mariental firefighting and rescue services and improving the ability to protect the lives of our people. It is another good example of how different sectors can work together with the government in finding lasting solutions for challenges that confront our citizens on a daily basis. The national government, central, regional, and local government can achieve more through partnership with stakeholders, such as the one we are witnessing today. Evidently, this project is an accomplishment towards improving access to fire services and to expedite the services during times of tragedy, and for that, we salute you all. This project will not only benefit the residents of Mariental and the Hardap region, whose lives and property will be protected, but will also enhance the capacity of firefighters who will handle the technical operations of these very well-equipped vehicles. The donation includes an ambulance and 2 medium pumper firefighting trucks with both water and firefighting foam storage capabilities. I'm informed that it also comes with rope for technical rescue operations, numerous fire hoses, and water appliances such as branches, a power generator, and floodlights. So they can also be driven into waters, rivers. We can go through Hardap region, Hardap Dam maybe with this. Hence, I'm recalling on the Mariental municipality the staff that is entrusted to handle this equipment to ensure the effective and efficient management of these units so that they can serve many people and communities for many years to come. Further, that you should guard these resources and equipment jealously against theft and mismanagement to ensure the proper utilization of these properties. Just last week, I had an engagement with my minister with the municipality of Usakos. And very sadly, the mayor was reporting that they were given one of the fire trucks by that was now the state. The ministry bought for them this truck. And sadly, the mayor was informing us that they need money again to purchase a generator for this truck. And just that the truck does not have any other problem because of one device or equipment that was stolen out of that truck. Made it to just come to a standstill. Now there are fire outbreaks in informal settlements. People must go with their own cars, containers to rescue people whenever this type of disaster occurs. Very disappointing. So please, I'm calling upon you to take a good care of these valuable properties that we are getting from our friends. The loss of a single piece of equipment have the potential to render the entire truck unable to respond to disaster, and this is in the face of an increasing and unprecedented natural and human-induced disaster that threatens the lives and livelihood of our people. Director of Ceremonies, distinguished invited guests, allow me to stress that I believe this forward-thinking approach demonstrated by the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund of Namibia in focusing on supporting preventative and support services for the Namibian people they serve by joining the Mariental municipality in availing resources to train and equip young Namibians from this region to study and qualify themselves in emergency medical care is indeed commendable. We thank you for that. I am further informed that the MVA Fund committed to sponsor a total number of 6 students from this region to pursue the bachelor degree, as it was well eloquently displayed and narrated by the Director of Ceremony as well as the representative from the MVA Fund. Therefore, I'm looking forward to be back in Mariental, as I understand that the collaboration between these two institutions will also see the introduction of a traffic simulation park in the succeeding year to come. In conclusion, I would like to call upon all of us as firefighters, safety officers, and responsible members of this society to recommit ourselves to saving lives and livelihoods and to ensure that all segments of our communities are protected, especially the most vulnerable, disabled women, girls, the elderly, and the marginalized. I am confident that the assistance that we receive and enjoy today as Mariental community through this smart partnership will further strengthen the cordial relationship that exists between Namibia and Spain. Therefore, with these few words, I congratulate you on the achievement of this town and its people and its leadership. I have no doubt that the Mariental Fire and Rescue Services will go a long way to save lives and improve the quality of life of our people by ensuring that superior services are delivered. Director of Ceremony, it is now my distinct honor to celebrate with you the commissioning of the 2 donated firefighting trucks and an ambulance, and I look forward to the achievement of even more milestones in 2024 as we inch closer to attain our national visions. With that, I declare the donated firefighter trucks and the ambulance officially commissioned. Give hands for yourself, and I thank you. Congratulations.
It's going to serve the community of Mariental. It's not only going to be operating within the boundaries of the town. If there is an emergency and the ambulance need to travel to Windhoek, it will also fulfill that function. With the city of Murcia, we are busy now working on a sister city agreement. Is going to go extend beyond emergency services. We are working on that, and hopefully that will also be concluded very soon. And by the way, His Excellency Ambassador, congratulations. Spain on Friday evening, I think, won, and they proceeded to the semi-finals of the European Cup. Congratulations. We know most who they defeated. We are not going to name names. Okay. According to our program, the official commissioning will be done by that's the physical now, to go to the vehicles and see what is in there. Will be done by the Honorable Deputy Minister and His Excellency the Ambassador. But and then we'll have the emergency simulation, the demonstration just there behind, to see the capabilities of these vehicles. But we are going to change the program. We are going to do the vote of thanks now, and then do the two anthems, and then we do the commissioning and the simulation. The powers vested in me as Director of Ceremonies. Okay. I will call on the Deputy Mayor of Mariental, the Honorable Andy Paul West, to come and do the official, the vote of thanks on behalf of the municipality.
Honorable Evelyn Novases Tayele, Deputy Minister of Ministry of Urban and Rural Development, His Excellency Alberto de la Calle, Ambassador of Spain, Member of Parliament Bernardo Suarboy, LCCC Leader of LPM, ladies and gentlemen, first allow me to observe the protocol that has been excellently laid down this morning. Firstly, allow me to extend my humble gratitude to all present. My role this afternoon is to thank all the role players that make this project a success. On behalf of Mariental Municipality, and indeed every resident of our beautiful town, our sincerest gratitude to the Municipal Council of Musia and the Motor Vehicle Accident Fund of Namibia for the generous donation of 2 firefighting vehicles and an ambulance. This timely donations is a significant contribution towards improving the lives of our people. Today's handover is another good example of how all sectors can work together in finding solutions for challenges that confront people on a daily basis. We believe that it will take the community, the private sector, civil society organizations and government partnerships to significantly impact on fire and rescue services. We have no doubt that these appliances will go a long way to save lives, protect property, and improve quality of life of all our people by ensuring that superior services are delivered by our fire and rescue services. The availability of firefighting vehicles and ambulances equipped with the required technology will undoubtedly enable our firefighters to get to fires and accident scenes quicker and to provide effective services. All in all, these vehicles are alluded by the Honorable Mayor this morning will help to make Mariental a safer and better place to live, work and invest in. Indeed, this additional addition will invaluably add to our transport efficiency, safety and reliability, and further deepen our work. Program Director. This project brings us a step closer to our aim of improving the quality of life and of our people in general, and the safety of the citizens of Mariental in particular. The role played by emergency vehicles in quality service delivery cannot be overemphasized. The same gratitude goes to our Minister and the Deputy Minister of Urban and Rural Development, our Executive Director, and the senior management team of the Disaster Risk Management Corporate. Ms. Shiweta and Ms. Ileka, you may not know me or my fellow councillors, but we know you through our respective reporting structures. We thank you for your hard work and dedication in ensuring the standardization of fire services in Namibia. To the men and women in uniform, no amount of acknowledgement and appreciation will be adequate to express our deepest regard for all your efforts and ensure improvement in the quality of service delivery. As we take stock of the achievement of the past 2 years, we are pleased to report that major breakthroughs have been recorded during this period with regard to emergency management services in our town. Accordingly, we meet today to bear eloquent testimony to the further advancement of these achievements in the form of the handing over of these firefighting vehicles and ambulance. I call on the Chief Fire Officer and firefighters of the Mariental municipality to take unquestioning ownership of these vehicles and take our ethics and caring and professionalism to a higher level. To match this effectiveness and efficiency of these new art vehicles, to this extent, I want to express my personal appreciation to each and every member, every paramedic, every doctor, every nurse, every fireman, and every driver and every rescue specialist. You deliver such valuable services to our community, and let you do not always receive the appreciation you deserve. Thank you and best wishes. Moreover, we thank the community of Mariental. Thank you for your understanding and support. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you.